Hello everyone, my name is Tristan Treboz and I am Solution Architect for Tricentis. And for the next 15 minutes, we're going to talk about model-based test automation. So to define what it is, we answer three questions. The what is model-based automation, what it is, what does it do? Then the why is it so important? And the how is implemented in Tosca. And we finish with a small demo. So to answer the what, so you can see model-based automation, let's define what a model is. So we can see the symbol here. In Tosca, that's a symbol in Tosca of a model. And what a model is, you can define the orange section for the one we know, the Tosca. You can define the orange section. And it contains technical information about the system under test. So that's the link between the test case and the system under test. So when you run, when Tosca will run automate and run the test case, then it will use the modules to steer the controls of the system and a test. It can be controls, it can be a form, a button, it can be also at the API level. It doesn't matter. So also very important to understand is a module is an abstraction layer. It means when you create the module, you can get rid of the noise, what you don't need for your test, and keep only the controls you need or the information from the REST API response or request you need to create test cases. Also, it's separated from the rest. Modules are decoupled from the rest. When I say the rest, I mean the business logic, and also decoupled from the test data. So that's a model. Now, model-based means basically it's scriptless. Tosca is a zero-code approach, so you don't need to code anything in Tosca, but you use module to build your test cases. So now the why. Why is this so important? Why does it make Tosca so successful? Because with such an approach, with the MBTA approach, you can automate and reach very high automation rate up to 95%, but in average we talk about 85%. So why can we achieve that? Because basically it solves the maintenance trap issue. Maintenance trap means when you use a test automation framework, when you require to code scripts to run test cases, so then it can get a bit bulky, difficult to maintain, and then in the end you will not be able to scale. But with the model-based approach, you can scale, you can create test cases faster, automate more, and then reach such a figure that 95% of test automation rate. Then there's also the benefits to this approach, which is the second point of truth, meaning that it means that it's managed separately from the rest and it's easy to maintain. Of course, you have to maintain when your application will change, you'll have to maintain your modules, but it's really easy to do. We can maybe, if you have time, see that later in the demo. It's reusable components, and it's also very important is also for non-technical users, because when you have these modules, it's an abstraction layer we said before. Then when you build your test cases, then it's really easy to read. It's plain text, plain English or plain German if you want, but it's really easy to understand, to modify, and to run. So now the how. How is that implemented? So you have to, actually James spoke about the yellow and red section. We're going to focus on this orange and blue section. So the modules are created in this orange section. You have two ways to do that. You have the X-scan feature or components of Tosca. Basically, you will scan your application and select the control you want to steer, you want to use in the module. And you also a recorder. That's basically you start the recorder, you start to, why not follow your manual testing script or scenario, and then stop the recorder, and Tosca will create the module for you. But you have also, Tosca comes with the score called standard TCE. It's module that's to do other things that create something to do with process files or database, or why not open URL. That comes with Tosca. This is a standard application, it's standard installation. You have also optional accelerator packages. That's basically modules for package application, like for ServiceNow, for SFDC, and also for SAP. Like we have a accelerator package for SAP GUI and Fiori as an example. where the modules are already created, and basically you have to just to put your data, and then you can you are ready to go and you run your test. So something also very important to understand the methodology is like basically you want to steer at the API level, UI level, whatever technology, Java, mobile application. It's the same methodology. You create your modules and then you can build your test cases. It's the same way of working. Then additional functionalities here. So you have the rescan when you have existing modules, but you have to modify them because your application changed. Then you just do a rescan, and then you can just add the features or modify the features, the different attributes you have in your module, and then you can save it, and it will be updated in all the test cases where it's used. You have also the merge functionality, where you have maybe one module that's two modules, one supersedes the first one, but the first one is not really worth maintaining, then you can merge them, and then it will be updated also in all the test cases. We have search functionality, like the fuzzy search is really easy to find all the modules related to URL. Just type URL, and then you have the list of the modules to do something that deal with URL. Also group functionality to organize your work. And I want to say it's really intuitive. It's like playing Legos. And that I would like to do a demonstration now. So that's the SUT. It's a web application we are going to steer. And that's my Tosca commander. So you can see the blue part. Oh no, we can't. So I don't know for those if you can see. Sorry for the technical problem. Can you see something from where you are? Yeah? Okay. So you have this blue section and the orange section. In the orange section, I have my modules. In the blue section, I have my test case. To create test cases, it consists in drag and dropping the modules on the blue section, and then you will add a new test step. So here I have an existing test case called automobile, and you can see different test steps. Like click on automobile link and then fill in the information about the vehicle data. Okay, and I have that for the insurance data and product data and so on. So if I run that, can run the scratchbook. It's an ad hoc execution. You can see Tosca will start up and do some pre-processing to maximize, open the SUT, maximize the window, click on the automobile link, and they'll fill the information about the vehicle data, insurance data, product data, and select. It's quite fast. One of the quotes that was generated, the platinum one, and then send the information to the user. So that's the test case, how it works. Now, how was it built? Built on the modules. So what can I do? I can maybe create one not for automobile, but for the truck requirements. So I can use existing modules, as I told you. So I can select one, drag and drop it on this test case. You can see it created a new test step. And here I will not select automobile, but I will select the link called truck. So now I need my SUT. I will open my SUT, the web application. Come back to my Tosca, select my truck test case, and I can already run this first test step. And in this case, Tosca will start up and select this time the truck link. But now, let's say I don't have this module, I want to create it. So I can use this scan application functionality. Here we select the desktop option. Basically, it will scan all the application running on my machine. I identify this web application as the one I want to scan. So now it's identifying all the controls, but the one I want to use are these ones. So all the required fields. So I select all of these fields with this select on screen feature. And I can save it. They are all uniquely identified. So I save it and I can exit. And you can see we selected 10 controls out of 765. So even for a simple page like that, you have a lot of controls, a lot of noise you don't need. So now I can go back to my Tesla Commander, and you can see it created a module with all the fields I need. Also took a screenshot, and I can, like I did for the first module, I can drag and drop it on the track test case and then add a new next step. And I can do that for the other ones. So that's the principle. If for any reason the application changed, I can rescan this module. So now Tosca will open the module, will check if they are still existing. And with select on screen again, I can add my button, save and exit, xscan, go back to my Tosca, and you can see actually that next now was added automatically in my test case. And it will have done that for one module. You have n test cases, it will update all the test cases where it's used. Okay, so now let's finish the last slide. So as a conclusion, just want to recap and explain again what a model-based test automation is. So it's scriptless. It's a scriptless approach. With this scriptless approach and this model-based automation, you can reach a very high automation rate. And also it's for non-technical user. So people with the business tester, we were manual testing before. Manual testers before can use Tosca easily after a small training. And to go further, you can check these two links. Also, the video of one of my colleagues, Rice, who did a great video about model-based test automation. And also to tell you that model-based automation is not only in Tosca about testing, but we reused Tricentis reused this technology in Tricentis RPA that is launched today. So it's also model-based to create then this one this time. So actually processes for production. So it's also model-based approach. So thank you for your attention, and I wish you a great Accelerate.